Oh, speaking of mindset, today's content. So hey guys, one of the things I want to talk about today, and this is really just where my heart is the life you want, the life that led you to get your real estate license. And so we're going to talk a little bit about mindset today, but I want to just continue coming back to this idea that my success is within my power. Nothing really can stop me. My success is within my power. Now, there will always be circumstances. There's always going to be down markets. There's always going to be up markets. There's always going to be challenges, right? Life always has them. You can't avoid them. None of that changes this statement. My success is within my power. And we can look at that because we can look over and over and over and over again at people in the world who have done amazing things, and we can say that there's not one of them who had it handed to them, right? If you're familiar, Alexander Hamilton, right, was the son of a prostitute, right, and rose to be one of the founding fathers of this country. My success is within my power. He made choices along the way. Yeah, and opportunities came. One of the things we know is that people who are successful, they had unique opportunities, but they took advantage of them because they could see them, right? They could see the unique opportunities. And so my success is within my power. That's something I want you to adopt as a core mindset if you have not already. Truth is, most of you, a good portion of you have adopted that. That's why you're here. Because there was something inside of you that said, my current situation is not the end of my story, and you made the step to get your real estate license. Right? Nobody gets their real estate license with the idea of like, you know what, I'm just going to get by someday. My goal is to barely make it, right? Your goal when you got your real estate license was to change your situation in someday. Now, Brent and Alice, it was, can you imagine if we just did 6 deals, right? That was where it started. But there was a mindset that said, we're going to change the situation. It's how different would our life be if we just did 6 deals? And then last year did what, like 36, I think, right? Yeah, a little bit different, right? Because they got to that first goal and to the next goal, and they adopted the Keller Williams mindset and the systems and the strategies. But underlying all of the systems and strategies is, I can do this, right? So that's the first thing. So write that down if you haven't yet. My success is within my power. I don't care if you write it on the back of the calendar, if you write it on your hand, if you write it on your neighbor, don't do that. But just write it down. My success is within my power. We talk about mantras, right? And we'll get into that a little bit more in just in a second. But what a powerful statement to begin your day with. What a powerful thing as you're driving, maybe you're 5 minutes to the office or 15, I don't know what your drive is like, if you just repeated that to yourself. My success is within my power. My success is within my power. Now, again, that is absolutely true. You have the ability in every circumstance to find opportunity, right? And I've mentioned, that is a mindset, right? That is a choice that you make. And what's great about that is when you set that as your foundation point and you rehearse that script, right? What happens is you develop a mindset, a framework that just begins to see opportunity at every instance. Every failure is a learning opportunity. Every success leads to another success. Every relationship leads to an opportunity. My success is within my power. So with that in mind, let's just do a gut check. What is your definition of a big life? What was the dream when you got your real estate license? It may not be the same now, but what are you working for, right? What's your definition of a big life? Take a second, think about it, write a couple things down. Don't look at me. I can't tell you. Okay. It's interesting. I had this conversation with Marion Benton the other day. We're talking about just where do you want to be? And it was funny because I'm only 46. I have kids. I don't have any grandkids. My oldest is 18, so just to kind of give you insight. But for me, one of the things, what's your plan? My plan was I just want to help my kids. Like my goal, what I'm working for is when my kids get married and they're buying their first home, I want to be able to help them. Right? That to me, that's worth work. That I want that. That's real. I want to be able, as it sounds so silly, but I'm already thinking about how I could be grandpa. I want to take kids on experiences. I want to be able to go hey, we're going to Disneyland, and my kids are like, we can't afford that. And be like, you're not affording that. I am. Right? That's what I want. Right? I want to do vacations. Sounds so silly. There's nothing radical about this, but this is just this is kind of yeah, that's my definition of a big life. Right? That's where I want to end up. Those are some of the things. What did you write? What are some of the things you wrote down? Yeah.
Generational wealth.
Okay, remind me your names.
Josue.
Josue, that's what I thought. Okay, generational wealth. Yeah. What does generational wealth mean to you?
Where you, after you are gone, your kids and their kids and their kids and their kids.
A legacy, yeah. A legacy worth leaving. Okay, sure. What else? What's your definition of, yeah, Norma?
Financially free.
Financially free. What does that mean to you?
Just, I don't know, just have the money to just do what you want.
Yeah. So the FU money, they call it, right? The freedom money, yeah.
What I put on
yeah.
I can tag it, it's working because you want to, not
Yeah.
because you have to.
Working because you want to, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
definitely different.
Yeah. I am living out my mission and purpose money, right? Yeah. What else? What does it mean to you? Yeah, Alice.
To live a life that's not mundane. We went to a mixer the other day, and I sat by this guy who told me he sold computers. I was like, that sounds so boring. And, we get to go and do pop-bys, go see our clients, call. We can come from contribution. We could write a note. I mean, we have so many creative ways that we
Yeah.
work that it doesn't even seem like work.
So big life is just a life I enjoy.
A life I enjoy.
Yeah, a life with purpose too. It kind of goes back to that purpose, right? Like I'm doing more than moving this paper from here to there, right? That's huge.
Oh, Bree.
Yeah.
So Bree Pittman said on shift this morning, my purpose is still pending. And I thought that was it was a pretty cool
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah. Cool. What else? Well, Sam.
At the beginning, when we got the real estate license, I want to make as much money as I can. I want to be the number one and all that stuff.
Right.
All that have changed. But so this is simply put, and it's broad, have the choice and freedom to all what life have to offer without any holdbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Travel, help others, lifestyle to its fullest.
Yeah.
It's that it changes, and there is so much into this statement.
Mm-hmm.
But we all could say this. It sounded good. What is the plan?
Getting there. But Alice, one more.
Well, you brought up a good point about Tyler has all these listings on the board, and you said it's because he comes in and he puts his head down. So all this is obtainable if you just come in and put your head down.
All right, you're stealing my thunder. I'm going to get there. All right? I'm going to get there. All right, yeah. Brent, all right.
Well, let me just finish with, about
Okay, yeah.
vacations or travel.
Yeah?
It's not just the travel, it's traveling in first class.
Yes.
Be in the front of the plane,
Oh,
not
man.
the 32D.
I just
Be
flew
in 2F,
I just flew back in 22B. It sucks. I'll be honest. It's really good being here. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Cool. I got my I opened up my ticket and I was flying on Delta and I looked at it and I thought I'm going to kill that travel agent. Anyway, so your definition of a big life. It's important to know why we're working, right? And again, I go back to this. My success is within my power, right? Now, what happens to most people is we have this big why, my definition of a big life, and we then go, man, I want to win that 1.25 billion, like that's, which I didn't, that's why I'm here, right? But what's your definition of big life? And then my success is within my power. How? Because I'm going to leave nothing to chance. And this is where we get to what Alice was saying. See, the next step to have that big life is not to leave it to chance. I was consulting with a friend who runs a large organization, and they were launching a couple new programs, and they were struggling with getting attendance at these things. They were trying to sell some tickets to these two events. And I just say, hey, I'd love to sit down and talk to you about it. Tell me about your marketing plan. Tell me who owns the responsibility to make sure that people get there. And he said, well, and he kind of hemmed and hawed. And I was like, that's why it's not happening, right? Because nobody owns the responsibility to make it happen. Because they had a really good idea, and it sounded great, but nobody owned the success. Your life can be whatever you want it to be, right? Your success is within your power. But where most of us go wrong and where most of us lose that power is we just leave it to chance. There's no real plan. And so you come in to the office, or you kind of do a little bit of lead generation, or we just kind of think, I'm doing the next thing, but we don't follow up with the what's this plan to leave nothing to chance. And so talking about that, I want to give you a couple tools, right? What does that look like? My big full life, right? If I was going to be able to do X, Y, or Z, if my lifestyle was going to look like X every year, and maybe that's, like Sam said, just being able to take advantage of the things, right? Or it's going on vacation with the grandkids, or it's getting season tickets, right, for whatever your sporting activity of choice is, or buying this year's Roebuck house, right? Like whatever that is, what does it take to get there? What's the GCI I need to get there? Is it GCI or CGI? It was one of those, check, I think it was GCI.
CGI.
Yeah, I think it's, yeah, I can't remember, I might have typed the address in wrong, so if that doesn't work for you, it's CGI. What this is the tool that you've got through KW, right? Where you can go in and you can say, you can kind of play the game. How much income do I need to have the lifestyle I need? And you can plug in your expenses. And you can say, to cover my minimums costs X. But I don't want to just my minimum. So I want to be able to take a trip for X every year. You can plug that in, and then you can run it. And then you can add in, what are my percentages of my listings? Well, if you don't know, I'd just put in 50%. I have about a 50% listing success ratio. You might exceed that, but it gives you a baseline. And what that'll do is it's going to spit out for you what you need to do. It literally will tell you how many appointments you need, right? Right there. Right? Another great place to figure this out is on opportunities. If you go into Command on the Opportunities tab, you can take a look now and you can see, what does my pipeline look like? Am I on track to be where I want to go? So it's GCI, I believe it's GCI.kw. It is CGI.kw. Yeah, thank you, Ray. Yeah, it was Career Growth Initiative. CGI, which sounds like computer generated. Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, that's okay, because you can think of your life as a big blockbuster film then. It's cgi.kw.com. You can run the numbers. Now, those numbers are not intended to overwhelm you. What they're intended to do is tell you what you need to do. So cgi.kw.opportunities, or .com, and then Opportunities tab. If you haven't checked out the Opportunities tab, this is your pipeline. So what does that mean? It means that when I talk to somebody and they say, oh yeah, I've got this property we're thinking about selling up in the desert, but it's going to be 9 months. What you do is you immediately add them as an opportunity, and you put them in Cultivate. And then when you log on to your desktop every morning, you go to your opportunities and you look at who do I need to cultivate, when was the last time I talked to them, right? You're not leaving anything to chance or to memory, right? So these are tools that we need to use. So what we're going to be focused on this month, right, with our lead generation workshop, is how do we take the CGI that I need, or the GCI that I'm going to find out at the CGI website, how do I take that information and now create a plan so that we've left nothing to chance? See, because I've said this for multiple times in multiple meetings, right, that real estate isn't sexy. If it's sexy, you're doing it wrong, right? Real estate is boring. Because what you have to do is just run the play. Just run the play. Just run the play. If you just run the play, what will happen is you have some days that are unbelievable. You get off your lead generation time and you're like, I've got 3 listing appointments. And you'll have some days that are just heartbreaking. And you got nothing. And you found out that your best friend sold their house a week ago and they didn't talk to you, right? And the difference between the people who achieve the big life is that they just keep doing the work. When the heartbreak comes, they say, opportunities in the next phone call. Opportunities in the next handwritten note. Opportunities in the next neighborhood nurture. And they just keep running the play because there's nothing left to chance. It all boils down to time on task over time. The numbers never fail. The numbers don't fail. We do. But that's just a matter of forming habits and knowing, what do I need to do to achieve this, and focusing on that? Not focusing on, I have to be able to buy my kids or give my kids down payments for houses right now. I can't. But if I focus on, that means I need to talk to 20 people today, I can. What is the one thing such that by doing it, everything else becomes easier or unnecessary? That's what we've got to do. And guys, this is how we create businesses that other agents in our region go, what the happened over there? How did you do that? And we just smile and we say, it wasn't that hard. I just ran the play, right? This is how you get to that point where you are living that big life and everybody asks you, what did you do? And you go, I don't know, it just seems to happen magically. It's not magic, and you know that because you worked your butt off, but we don't want to say that. And so we say it's magic. I don't know, right? Or we forgot that it was hard work once because it's not hard work anymore because we just run the play. I think that's more often than not what happens. So, the mindset shift that comes. Most real estate agents are entrepreneurial. And it's funny, you're not going to hear language like this outside of Keller Williams because in our culture, we just hold up entrepreneurs as if they're like, oh my gosh, you're an entrepreneur. And it's great to start something. But if you're the chief cook and bottle washer for the rest of your life, then you're not going to cook much or have any bottles washed because you're going to be breaking down, right? But if you take a great idea, you run a play and you have a business, then what happens is your life gets better and so do a lot of other people's. And so an entrepreneurial mindset is deals come easily. They lead generate as needed. Stay busy all the time. Have a goal, yet not sure if meeting the goal. Life is busy and hectic. I just described 90% of the real estate industry, right? Purposeful, focus on a few key levers in your business. Listing appointments, your pipeline. Track your progress to your goals. Know exactly what you need to do and block time for dollar productive activities. Life is strategic. It has clarity and focus. All right. So take a second, write down what are the dollar productive activities you need to do every day. Just write them down. All right, what are the dollar producing activities you need to do? Anybody?
Calling database.
Calling database, absolutely. Oop, I forgot one. Yeah, absolutely. Call your database. DTD, wait, oops, did that backward. DTD2. Yeah, call your database. And I would say that means run a DTD2. If you don't know what that means, then you absolutely need to be in the MREA lead generation workshop coming up, right? If you don't know where to find it, you absolutely need to be in the MREA lead generation workshop that's coming up. DTD2, it's a call plan that's going to tell you how often to call them. Because if you call your friends and family every week, you might have less friends and family, right? Like, but if you don't call them enough, then they sell their house using somebody else. And then they go, oh my gosh, that's right. You're still doing that? Good for you. How's it going? Let's talk about the market, right? We don't want that. We want them to know exactly how it's going because they know that we're the resource. So call your database. What else? What's a everyday lead generation dollar producing activity that you have to do?
Circle prospecting.
Circle prospecting. What does that mean? Anybody?
Like you said earlier, when you see those listings, call around
Yeah.
to people you know.
Yeah.
That's that circle.
It's leveraging what's happening in the market to generate business for you. So it's calling your sphere based on listings that are available. It's also going to the listings that are on the market and knocking on those doors and saying, hey, did you see that house at 491 Elm Street is for sale, right? I'd get out of this neighborhood as fast as you can because it's Elm Street, right? So, but whatever, like it's doing that and just asking them. It's circle prospecting. Yeah, what else? What else are dollar producing activities? Alice?
Well, part of a courtesy that I provide is to give you a current market analysis of your home. Would you like to take advantage of that?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's your equity analysis. And that can be in your sphere. That can also be door knocking. That can be to anyone and everyone, right? It's part of your 33 touch plan. It's just part of what you do, how you run the play. If you don't know what that means, you need to be in the MREA Lead Generation Systems workshop, right? What else? Dollar producing activities.
Open house.
Open houses? Yeah, open houses, absolutely. Freba?
Yeah.
Yes?
Following up with the database or any clients.
Follow up, absolutely, absolutely. I will tell you that there's a lot of real estate business that disappears because we just forgot to follow up. So that means when you have a lead that comes in, how do you know you're going to follow up? Command, you enter them into opportunities, right? You create a task for yourself. Like when I log on my desktop in the morning, I got about 80 things I need to do. I don't know that I need to do them. Ask Sam, I have no idea what's coming next, right? But I go onto my desktop and it tells me exactly what I need to do because I loaded it on, or Sam loaded it on for me, right? That's how I get stuff done, right? So that we don't leave a chance. We follow up. What else? Dollar producing.
Where you going?
Plan, right, absolutely. So we don't leave it to chance. We know we need X, Y, and Z, so how many contacts does that make? We did the breakdown. We started with the goal, we broke it down backwards, 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 backwards until we got to today, right? And the way we focus on that is our GPS, right? This is our goal planning for the year and our 4-1-1, 4 weeks, 1 month, 4 weeks, 1 month, 1 year, right? And every week I have a 4-1-1 that tells me what I need to do today, right? These are tools. If you don't know what that means, you need to be in the MREA Lead Generation Systems workshop. If you're not using these tools, you need to be there, right? Because we need to start running the system. Any other lead and dollar producing activities?
Contract writing and negotiating, buyer and seller.
Yeah, contract writing and negotiating with the buyer and seller. Appointments. I need appointments every day, right? And think about that, man. If you're a doctor and you have appointments every day, what do you know what I mean? Like if you're in any industry and you say you're that, the only other industry I could think of that you can say you're that and not do it every day is an actor, right? You can be waiting tables and say you're an actor, right? Realtors, same thing, right? Most actors don't make any money, but the really good ones make a lot. Same with realtors. Appointments every single day, right? So these are dollar producing activities. We don't leave it to chance though, right? We do the things that generate the business. So how do we do that? Start every day with intention. We talked about that affirmation. My success is within my power. We track our progress, right? You can use the GCI calculator. You can pull reports on mykw.kw.com. You can actually look at your multi-year trends. You can go up there on reports and pull that. Again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, be at the Millionaire Real Estate Agent Lead Generation Systems Workshop. You can do your pipeline. You can do that through a pipeline report, or you can do it on, like I said, opportunities. You can time block your calendar. You absolutely need to time block your calendar. So there's a lot of agents in this industry who say I'm a part-time agent. And what it means is I'm a sometime agent, which means I'm a no-time agent, right? If you are a sometime, like you can have a part-time job. And there are people who work part-time jobs, but they still have to show up when they're supposed to show up. I'm not going to have a part-time employee who shows up when they feel like it. If you're working part-time, that's okay. But you have to work part-time. So what is your schedule? How are you time blocking that work, right? And then focus on the dollar productive activities. I'll be honest, spending a lot of time on your website is not a dollar productive activity unless you've run out of everything else to do, right? Which you probably haven't. So focus on the dollar productive activities. Focusing on knowing the contracts is important. Obsessing over the contracts to such a point that you never pick up your phone, go be a TC, right? Go be a transaction coordinator because you have to talk to people, right? So know the contracts, but don't focus and obsess on them because here's the thing. Sam, you've been in the industry how long?
Too long.
Okay, thank you. How often do you run into things that are new, that take you by surprise? On a pretty often?
All the time.
All the time. Sam's been in a long time. He doesn't know everything yet, but he learns as he goes. He has a solid foundation from which to build on, and he learns as he goes. So you have to start moving, right? That's the key. So this is how we get there. So any questions, comments? Anybody else? So I have a plan, right? My plan for this market center is to make the people who are willing to do the work wealthy. My plan for this market center is to change some lives, period. Like I've said this a million times, I'm not a money person, I'm a mission person. But my mission can be your money, right? That's my mission, because your mission, that mission for your money is the big life that got you in here. Nobody got the real estate license because they were happy with the way things were. Everybody got their real estate license because they were looking to make a change, right? Now, I can't do that for you, but I can give you the tools. If you have not signed up and registered for the Millionaire Real Estate Agent Lead Generation Systems yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. If you're saying, well, I've got other things to do, then put a priority on your success and reschedule the other things, right? Well, I've got kids to pick up. You know what? I say this all the time. Let's put grandma in play, right? Like that's, I say to my wife all the time, I don't know how to get everywhere. All right, put grandma in play, right? Prioritize your success. Don't be a sometime agent, right? All right, cool. Yes, Ray.
Carlos